Perfetto. Ok, allora, buonasera, buongiorno a tutti. Io, vabbè, tanto più o meno ci conosciamo tutti, comunque io sono Tommaso Campedelli e lavoro nel Life Chef for Bio, che insieme a Rete Appia è l'organizzatore di questo primo workshop, a cui ne seguirà poi un altro il 6 novembre. Comunque verrete riavvertiti, promemoriati, diciamo così, poi a stretto giro. Questi due workshop sostanzialmente costituiscono di fatto un percorso di avvicinamento a un ulteriore workshop, questo in presenza della durata di 2 giorni, che sempre in collaborazione appunto con Rete Appia, Chef for Bio organizzerà per il 1° e 2 dicembre in Casentino, e diciamo dove si vorrebbe arrivare a discutere a proposito di un network, o meglio di dare una cornice unica alle varie esperienze che sono nate, stanno nascendo, auspicabilmente nasceranno di scuole pastorali in Italia, che di fatto esiste già perché sarebbe la SNAP, la Scuola Nazionale di Pastorizia, a cui anche noi come progetto LIFE abbiamo aderito, ma che era partita con l'esperienza su in Piemonte, eh, poi è nata appunto quella del Casentino, è nata una in Sardegna, insomma ci sono altri progetti, altre cose. Quindi è un momento probabilmente importante di ridefinizione degli obiettivi, delle attività, per dare forza di rappresentanza, diciamo, a quella che è la SNAP, soprattutto in chiave futura. E quindi ci sembrava interessante organizzare un paio di workshop soprattutto su quelle che sono le esperienze a livello europeo legate alle scuole pastorali, sia le esperienze specifiche, nel senso le scuole, le attività, quello che fanno, quello che non fanno, questo sarà più che altro il tema del prossimo workshop, però anche avere un quadro aggiornato da chi poi se ne occupa e ci sta dietro anche da diversi anni, di quelli che sono, di quello che è lo stato dell'arte, diciamo, dei progetti a scala europea per la creazione di un network di scuole pastorali europee. E quindi oggi, a parte il non simpatico compito che spetta a me di fare un po' da padrone di casa e quindi di parlare poi del Life Chef for Bio, ma sarò molto breve. Abbiamo altre tre interventi, uno purtroppo non è potuto essere presente e spero verrà recuperato nel prossimo workshop, che poi magari no, forse è meglio presentarli ora, che sono Antonello Franca in rappresentanza e Giovanni Altana in rappresentanza sia di Rete Appia, ma in questo caso del progetto Pastinnova, Elisabeth Paul, che è referente. Poi chiederò a ognuno proprio in maniera proprio brevissima e concisa di presentarsi, perché magari io sorvolo di inesattezze, quindi poi eventualmente rettificate, che è il referente della via Campesina per l'Italia, nonché socia rappresentante delle ARI, e poi Luis Miguel Sanabria, che immagino quasi tutti o tutti conoscono, che diciamo è stato e è tuttora uno dei principali animatori, insomma, a livello europeo di progetti di messa in rete delle scuole pastorali. Con diversi di voi e anche con me ha già avuto modo di confrontarsi, abbiamo già avviato delle attività, quindi è è una persona che a livello sicuramente europeo è particolarmente utile per definire un attimo un po' lo stato dell'arte. Quello di oggi vuole essere un po' una chiacchierata, una condivisione di esperienze per capire in Europa a che punto siamo, quali sono le criticità, quali sono i bisogni, le opportunità, che penso possa essere utile ehm, per quel percorso a livello nazionale, ma che gioco forza è orientato poi a una dimensione europea, la SNAP e tutto ciò che c'è collegato ha avviato e porterà avanti nei prossimi mesi e nei prossimi anni. Quindi io vado a condividere con voi una breve presentazione che ho fatto eh, sul progetto Chef for Bio e poi passerò la parola agli altri. Chiedo a tutti di stare intorno a un quarto d'ora, 20 minuti proprio massimo, in modo da avere poi spazio per considerazioni, domande, un po' di discussione. Insomma. Allora, no, fate un attimo. Ok. Dovreste vedere.
Sì,
Ok, perfetto. Allora, brevemente, il progetto Life Chef for Bio è un progetto cofinanziato dall'Unione Europea nell'ambito del progetto del programma LIFE, si occupa in questo caso di ripristino e miglioramento dello stato di conservazione di tre habitat di prateria, quindi habitat sostanzialmente di origine antropica, creati e mantenuti grazie alle attività pastorali e più in generale all'attività zootecnica. Quindi è un progetto che ha un obiettivo evidentemente di tipo naturalistico, di tipo ambientale, è stato finanziato nell'ambito del sottoprogramma Natura e Biodiversità, che come dice il nome stesso appunto di questi argomenti si occupa, ma che è evidentemente e funzionalmente connesso con tutto quello che è il mondo pastorale più in generale dell'attività zootecnica e quindi anche con le opportunità, le criticità, le problematiche che sono proprie di questo mondo. Il progetto è iniziato nel 2021, finirà nel 2027, coinvolge 11 partner, io nella fattispecie lavoro per Dream Italia, che è una cooperativa che si occupa in senso lato di questioni ambientali e che ha un gruppo specifico di progettazione europea molto attivo in particolare sui progetti LIFE, che è il coordinatore, e poi abbiamo una serie di partner, tra cui il Parco Nazionale Foreste Casentinesi, la Regione Toscana, Studio Verde, che è un po' una sorta di DREAM parte romagnola, DREAM Italia è versante toscano, 4 unioni dei comuni, dove, al cui interno diciamo, si realizzano poi le attività pratiche e concrete di conservazione, l'Università di Firenze, Roma La Sapienza e Euromontana, che è un'associazione di cui qui è rappresentata da Beatrice, che saluto, che tra l'altro è da poco arrivata nello staff di Euromontana e quindi del progetto, che si occupa sostanzialmente di fare lobby a livello europeo tra le varie cose, comunque di sostenere, di portare avanti le istanze di tutto ciò che riguarda, diciamo, l'ambito montano e quindi evidentemente anche di tutte le problematiche o attività connesse all'allevamento e più in generale all'agricoltura. Il progetto si svolge sostanzialmente all'interno del Parco Nazionale delle Foreste Casentinesi, più sul massiccio del Prato Magno, sono zone dell'Appennino tosco-romagnolo per intendersi, all'interno di 7 siti della rete Natura 2000. Va bene, niente, come ho detto è cofinanziato per il 60% dall'Unione Europea, il resto è diviso in percentuali diverse tra i vari partner del progetto. Due sono gli ambiti principali di intervento. Dicevo prima, interventi di ripristino diretto di questi habitat, attraverso interventi di decespugliamento, per esempio, però anche creazione di infrastrutture pastorali che poi siano funzionali all'applicazione di modalità di gestione che siano da una parte ovviamente favorevoli agli allevatori che ovviamente devono vivere, non sopravvivere, dall'altro però devono essere anche funzionali ad un tipo di gestione che tenga di conto di tutti gli obiettivi, anche di tipo naturalistico, quindi di conservazione che il progetto LIFE ha, quindi un discorso di salvaguardia anche di determinate specie che concorrono a definire questi habitat, più quindi piante per esempio, ma non solo, perché come voi sapete la crisi che sta attraversando, che arriva da lontano, di un certo tipo di allevamento, quindi estensivo, ha delle ripercussioni negative importantissime a livello di biodiversità e nel suo piccolo il progetto cerca di affrontare. Ci sono però molte altre attività che il progetto porta avanti e che rendono un po' ragione di quel rapporto intimo da un punto di vista funzionale che dicevo prima con il mondo pastorale, che è legato proprio a avviare delle collaborazioni con le aziende che operano sul territorio, ma non solo, attraverso anche delle attività di formazione condivisa. Quando dico condiviso vuol dire non calata dall'alto, ma che nasce da un confronto sui bisogni che poi nascono dal territorio. Però si pone anche degli obiettivi a scala un pochino più vasta, a livello nazionale e a livello europeo, sostanzialmente con due linee di intervento che in questo workshop di fatto centrano un po' tutte e due. Uno attraverso una scuola per pastori, che se ne parlava l'altro giorno anche con Antonello, e penso che anche lui ritornerà su questo argomento, non è solo un progetto di un momento di formazione per dare una risposta importante, sicuramente pratica a chi ambisce a fare questo mestiere ma ha delle difficoltà, ma vuole essere anche uno strumento per diffondere anche una visione magari anche forse un pochino più nuova della pastorizia, dell'allevamento. Eh, non so quanto più nuova, ma sicuramente attenta a tutta una serie di istanze, di problemi, di risposte che un certo tipo di allevamento può dare, che negli ultimi anni sicuramente hanno acquisito sempre maggiore interesse: la tutela del territorio, della biodiversità, la tutela del paesaggio, delle tradizioni, eccetera, eccetera. E poi anche però un ragionamento, come dicevo prima, anche a scala un po' più vasta, cercando di mettere insieme delle realtà che a livello europeo lavorano nello specifico sul discorso delle scuole pastorali, e non solo, diciamo così, attraverso due attività che poi più in dettaglio vi vado ad illustrare, che sono legate appunto da una parte a quello delle scuole pastorali, dall'altra un po' al riconoscimento del valore che certi tipi di attività zootecniche, il pastoralismo, eccetera, ha in particolare per la conservazione della biodiversità, ma non solo. Qui, vabbè, vado molto veloce, sono le cartine delle aree di intervento, ma sono dettagli, sono tutte informazioni che trovate, tra l'altro, anche sul sito internet del progetto. Quella era l'area del Parco Nazionale Foreste Casentinesi, questa è l'area del Prato Magno. Dicevo appunto, due sono le attività che sono connesse al tema di oggi e più in generale a quello delle scuole pastorali e anche questa attività di animazione nei confronti delle scuole pastorali. In particolare questo coinvolge il partner Euromontana, che è responsabile, referente di questa azione. Noi siamo partiti nel giugno 2022 con un primo incontro con alcune scuole pastorali che oltre a settare un po' la scena, diciamo quello che era il contesto, almeno per noi che ci avvicinavamo per la prima volta a questo tipo di attività, è servito, e poi ve ne renderemo conto dopo brevemente, anche attraverso un questionario a individuare una serie di argomenti che poi il progetto, diciamo, ha l'obiettivo di sviluppare nell'arco della sua durata. Anche attraverso uno strumento che è quello delle newsletter per le scuole pastorali, a cui ci si può iscrivere dal sito internet del progetto, e che è uno strumento, un veicolo, diciamo, piuttosto funzionale, soprattutto insomma, per quelle situazioni che nelle scuole pastorali sono tante, in cui si è affogati di lavoro, ci sono tante cose da fare, è una cosa leggera che richiede poco impegno, la si può guardare con calma, e però è abbastanza funzionale a veicolare tutta una serie di iniziative. Poi nel maggio del 2023 la prima conferenza, un meeting, workshop, diciamo così, forse è meglio come termine, internazionale organizzata dal progetto in Francia, a Florac, nel Parco Nazionale delle Cévennes, dove esiste un polo sulla formazione in agricoltura e nello specifico anche sulle attività pastorali, dove c'è stato un incontro sul ruolo che le scuole pastorali hanno e possono avere per diffondere tutta una serie di tematiche, in particolare legate alla gestione dei pascoli, eccetera, per valorizzare il contributo appunto che queste attività hanno per la tutela della biodiversità. Un tema forse anche abbastanza nuovo su cui non tutte le scuole si erano confrontate. È vero che anche perché eravamo in Francia, erano presenti 8 scuole provenienti da 4 paesi diversi, oltre ad altri soggetti, enti e istituzioni. 5 erano francesi, qualcuna di loro era già più avanti anche sul tema, comunque c'è stato sicuramente un notevole interesse, e questo rientra un po' in quell'obiettivo che dicevo prima, dico, più che l'obiettivo forse una visione un pochino più articolata di quella che dovrebbe essere una scuola per pastori. Le attività del progetto andranno avanti sostanzialmente con lo stesso schema, lo vedete riassunto qui, per cui a fine 2023, inizio 2024 ci sarà un nuovo incontro, un nuovo workshop online, ovviamente con le altre scuole, che sarà preceduto da una newsletter. Con Beatrice abbiamo cominciato a lavorarci da poco per arrivare poi a quella che sarà la secondo appuntamento internazionale in Spagna, su cui spero a breve di darvi degli aggiornamenti. Stiamo lavorando sul tema, su quello che può essere il topic, diciamo, di questo incontro. Questo il questionario che abbiamo condiviso con le 5 scuole europee, e questi sono sostanzialmente i risultati che sono abbastanza interessanti, perché se vedete le ultime 4 risposte sostanzialmente che racchiudono un maggior numero di interesse, diciamo così, di risposte di interesse da parte delle scuole, è un po' quello che stiamo cercando di fare noi anche oggi. Condivisione, networking, valorizzazione e promozione di corsi di aggiornamento, di iniziazione, passaggio di conoscenze. Quindi c'è ovvio che sono risposte di scuole pastorali, quindi è ovvio che per loro questi sono aspetti importanti, ma evidentemente confermati anche dall'attività sul campo. Questa era una domanda specifica sulle buone pratiche, per esempio, e anche qui ci sono alcune cose, come per esempio il modello agroecologico, no? Che poi ci ha dato un po' anche l'indirizzo verso l'argomento della prima conferenza. Però si va molto sul pratico, condivisione delle tecniche di insegnamento, degli argomenti, curricula della scuola, che saranno affrontati anche nel prossimo workshop, e ovviamente poi tutta una serie di problematiche legate al reclutamento degli studenti, alla stabilità finanziaria delle scuole, del lavoro, di cui Alessandro poi ci parlerà, che ha messo insieme una visione generale, una general picture, diciamo così, molto, molto interessante. Questo dicevo della conferenza in Francia, a breve sarà scaricabile dal sito internet del progetto il report, quindi potrete poi leggere. Abbiamo avuto un po' di problemi, quindi siamo arrivati un po' in ritardo, ma il report è completo, è fatto bene, tiene conto di tutti gli interventi, di tutte le discussioni, soprattutto dei due workshop che sono stati fatti. Il primo era specifico sul tema legato alla biodiversità, eccetera. Il secondo era proprio sul network europeo, quale formato dovrebbe avere, quali obiettivi, chi dovrebbe essere coinvolto. Io qui ho copiato, senza neanche tradurlo, alcune delle considerazioni che sono emerse, che sono riportate poi nel report, e ci sono delle cose interessanti: il coinvolgimento degli studenti, il fatto che un network è importante perché i pastori non si devono sentire soli, e questo è un bisogno che emerge da tantissimi aspetti, parlando con chiunque, che siano scuole pastorali, che siano pastori, allevatori, eccetera. La collaborazione eventualmente con altri progetti non è una cosa nuova, ce ne parla credo anche Luis dopo, progetti Erasmus per esempio, che si prestano molto bene per mettere in piedi questi scambi tra paesi europei, però anche delle problematiche sul linguaggio, sulle sfide, sulla cultura che caratterizza ciascun paese, e che possono essere degli ostacoli alla creazione di questo network. Degli ostacoli che però possono essere gestiti e possono essere ovviamente superati. Qui niente, quello che vi dicevo prima sulle altre due che rimangono da fare. La Spagna il prossimo anno, in chiusura l'Italia nel 2026, avremo più di tempo per parlarne. Però ecco, mi sembrava interessante dare già conto di alcuni risultati, di alcune evidenze, insomma, che da questo primo anno sono emerse nell'ambito del progetto. Io ho finito e passerei la parola ora a Elisabetta.
Sì, scusate, avevo provato ci è arrivato la Maria da Austria e chiedeva una traduzione, però diciamo, ho fatto un po' di fatica finora.
Ok.
E lo provo di fare un riassunto dopo per lei, così che sa che cosa, perché non riusciva a seguire. Sì, buongiorno, sono Elisabeth Paul, allevatrice e solomaia sul Piemonte, in una cooperativa agricola. E lavoriamo in stretto contatto con ARI, Associazione Rurale Italiana, e insieme con ARI gli ultimi 5 anni direi che partecipo al coordinamento europeo della via campesina, praticamente negli incontri che riguardano la produzione animale bovino-suino. Vuol dire che partecipo ai tavoli del dialogo civile e dell'osservatorio del mercato della carne e il gruppo sul futuro della carne suina che si chiamava Pig Meat Reflection Group. Lavorando con la via campesina, sono stato qua, chiesto, noi rappresentiamo i piccoli allevatori e devo dire che finora come pastori nella via campesina non ci siamo ancora. C'è una rete dentro la via campesina, si sta creando in questo momento. C'è una ragazza che un signore che prova di prendere le fila adesso che non poteva esserci oggi all'incontro. L'aspetto che noi proviamo di portare sono le esperienze dei piccoli allevatori e produttori alle tavole tecniche dell'Unione Europea. Vuol dire che dove si incontrano diversi stakeholders, attori di tutta la filiera e siamo visti come molto piccoli, visto che rappresentiamo i più piccoli eh, nella produzione si parla di quantità e di denaro, però sulla quantità di persone e di familiari che vivono di questa tipologia di produzione siamo intanto in tanti paesi europei e la cosa che ci viene in mente è che ci mancano un po' molte volte le statistiche sulle diverse tipologie di produzione e particolarmente sulle grandezze degli allevamenti e dei produzioni piccole e di mettere insieme le diversi um, costi-benefici che questi diversi porzioni hanno per avere un po' di leva per le nostre richieste sul palco europeo. Però sì, per quello io, non so, doveva essere breve la presentazione, adesso sto già allagando, mi spiace. Um,
No,
sì, questa è una cosa...
Elisabeth, dicevo, scusami, ti interrompo un
Sì.
secondo. Giustamente, visto che a parte Luisa che l'italiano lo capisce, ma magari però visto c'è anche Maria, eccetera, se non ci sono problemi da parte di altri, si potrebbe anche fare in inglese. Se,
Ah,
tanto-
scusate, ok,
No, 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 scusate, no, no,
perfetto,
noi si era detto
ok,
di farlo in
no, molto
italiano,
meglio,
però
ok,
effettivamente se non è un problema si può anche
yes,
fare.
absolutely, better, okay. So, I am visible. I live in northern Italy, in the Piedmont region, and I am part of an agriculture cooperation. And working right now, we have like around 100 hectare organically farmed, and I work quite closely within ARI, Associazione Rurale Italiana, and the European coordination of Via Campesina, which means we advocate for small-scale farmers, and we start at the moment within the Brussels coordination. We start they start to concentrate also on shepherds and herders in particular, but we do not have up to now. We did not have an action group. Me particularly, I am more on the production side for the meat production, and I represent the European coordination of Via Campesina in the civil dialogue group of the European Commission on meat production for bovine and sheep, and on the meat market observatory for these two species. And we were called last year also for the Pig Meat Reflection Group to give our opinions to the European Commission for the future of pork production. So we represent a very small scale farmers in a lobby, in a place where the big lobbies for meat productions usually meet, and there is not much representation of the small scale farmers, which means although we are many, we're not well represented, and we might not have the output. We do not have the numbers for the output. I think this is the most important aspect, that we do not have a good statistic on how are the different production models and how many small-scale farmers or shepherds and so on, people who live who work in rural and marginal areas and produce in these areas are actually within the different countries. And I think this is one of the most important aspects that I see when I heard about your initiative to unite the schools, the shepherd schools, that it should be kind of a knowledge hub for easy access for updated information about how much actually is produced in terms of output within the production, because the herder in the end and the shepherd, they are the food producers, and how many livelihoods depend on this, and how many livelihoods, especially in rural and marginal areas, depend on this. And I think that the European Commission, we need to have some numbers to have a lever to actually be able to advocate for very practical issues. And herders usually, and farmers in general, have a very long day, and the representation of ourselves, I think that's one of the things that the schools are very, very important for, to actually kind of accompany us, accompany the farmers and herders on their in that step, particularly for research and statistical evidence. That would be one of my most important aspects. And because the pastoralists and the herders, they are not really well represented in these like technical gremias in the European Union if we talk about production. And I think for projects there's a lot of attention, but on the actual production outcome to discuss on the tables for how the European food production should look like within the near future, there's not much of representation that really in the tables speaking with the lobby sides and with the Commission directly. I would say this is it. I'm very happy to answer questions if there is any. Thank you in the meanwhile.
Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth. And now, I don't know if it's the same. Luis? And
Sí.
okay, with a short presentation of yourself and then your considerations. Thank you.
Okay. Can you leave me to share the presentation screen?
Try now?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I tried to to translate directly to Italian, but I don't know if it's correct or not. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mainly, I'm going to explain how what we have done, and how we are dynamizing all the agents, all the entities, organizations related to shepherd schools of training in pastoralism in France. Okay. Because we are a lot, and we have several networks at regional, national, or even more than that. and we met and we knew or we know everyone in general. So in complementary, as you have shown in your presentation about the steps you have done in the framework of the Shepherd for Bio project, somehow else we have done in parallel, okay? So even complementation with that, and to push all of us to make different steps in this way. So as I was the member team of the Shepherd School in our region in Andalusia. I have met a lot of colleagues from Spain and from other countries at the 14 years ago. So for that we we tried to revitalize or dynamize. I don't know if you say that in English. Okay, dinamizar. I think that's in Italian more or less is the same word. That network. In that we could invite not all the people we wanted to invite, but some of them we could invite it. We could invite it in Braga in Portugal, because in Portugal they are starting in that in their consideration to make shepherd schools or pastoral schools, okay, in the north and in the center, okay, close to Galicia, in the region of Alto Tâmega, close to Trás Montes, and Serra de Estrela in the center in Alentejo. And that's in March the last year, 2022, we invited some people from different organizations from Spain, France, and Italy, and that we have realized is the different model of training we have in all the region. Never they are not, or there is not the same model in one, two or more region about the training, the duration, the budgets, the type of training, the entity. It can be public or private, etc. So we have realized that we had an global overview. That's the global overview. We have realized that the different aspects we need to take in an account, okay, and the differently organization type of organizations, type of model, etc. Financing, duration of the training, etc., etc. And in that analysis, showing the different models, we also we realized we need to analyze the real impact and the situation of the real impact of what that these initiatives, or these types of shepherd schools had impacted in the local region, or the local really. So that's we don't have exactly the elements to have a summary, to have a conclusion, etc. That is one thing that we can in all the different events meeting, we also talk about that with all people from all our organizations. We realize that that's important element. So that's that different. We have to have that's there are or there is an important differences between France France and the other countries. That is very important to note, to have noted, because we know all we know that is totally different from France and the other countries, the European countries, and also for example, our colleagues of Catalonia. That's something that we are going to talk in the next workshop, I think. They have put in they have developed and a monitoring system. That is the very important element that we don't have in the other. So for that, we can conclude. I don't know if you say that in English. We conclude. Yes, we conclude that we need to share and to share more information, to have an platform or something like that. To share information, what we can improve in our region, in our model. We can improve, or we can take the element from the other people, the other colleagues from our region. So that is very important. Also, in all these meetings, we realized the need to have to consolidate an exchange program among all the people who have trained in the different location from Europe, in Europe. So because that's we realize during all these last years, realize the necessity to for the people, for the farmers, for the new farmers, to have this open mind, like we say in English, and to visit all the people, to visit all the farm, to all the way to have the production, to make all the elements how we take into account the other elements like tourism, like production, like communication, like the environment system, etc., etc., etc. And for that, okay, so programma di scambio, the exchange for the experiences of methodology and in other level, the program of the exchange of students, farmers, teachers, sorry, or even the farmers also, because the farmers in general, I think in all the initiatives of the training have the same level as a teacher, okay, because they receive student in their farms, okay, to monitorize them and to teach them in how it's the real work in a farm. And okay, as you have in the same way that you have showed before. So okay, what's the steps or the meeting in person, because there are some in person, some online. We could participate. Okay, I can participate personally, and and also all the people from all the colleagues from Portugal or from our region or from Spain. And because for your knowledge, I think that is very important that in Spain, I think that in Italy, you are going, or you have the same, have you heard about territorio pastoreado? It's an event each year that it's the opportunity also to have a meeting from all the shepherd schools, of all the Spanish shepherd schools too, and and in the last in Valencia 2 weeks ago, we have the opportunity to talk to our colleagues about how we can which are the next steps or the problem or the obstacles, okay, to develop the initiative they need or they want to come in, so to carry on, okay. And so I think that's very important if you have also of your idea to have a program to have for the next years. And so I'm very I think that's it could be maybe it could be a very a very important way or element to consolidate this network, because obviously we think that there are all more people that we have involved to have been involved in these different meeting steps, okay, because they are maybe now on that moment we can have all the different agents, organizations, and people who are working in related to the shepherd schools, or more or less the training school in pastoralism, if we can call that in that way in France. Okay, if we are talking about France. But now I think we have all this puzzle, okay, of different people, organizations who are working together, or we met the other one, and we know that they are very interested in that network. Okay, so we have a job to consolidate and to continue to carry on with that all that people also. And complementary to you have told about we noted, okay, we noted that it's very important now at that moment to take time to analyze previously all the project and their impact, as I said before, okay, about training in pastoralism and pastoralism alone, okay, and also with that information to evaluate what we can do, or what we can submit as project for the different possibility of financing at regional level, national level, or European level, or international level. So in my opinion personally, I think that is very important, because we have a great background of project in that field, and not maybe exactly on the field of the training concerning the shepherd schools, okay, specifically, but in general, in the term of pastoralism, we have a lot of projects we have developed in maybe the 20, 15 or 10 years. Okay.
Sorry, Luis, sorry. We are over the time.
Okay.
And I think no problem. But I think you are talking about topics that can be analyzed and discussed also after the last presentation.
Okay.
With the other people. So the last one is
Can
Antonello.
I just, sorry, excuse me, Tommaso. Can I just very quickly ask something, Luis Miguel? I think you are watching a screen which is not the one you were sharing, because we were stuck on one single slide. So if you can later share the presentation, we will follow it. Probably you are using two screens, and the one you were sharing were not the one where you were moving the slides. But just to ask you to kindly share the presentation afterwards, so we can have a better view of what you were talking about.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Yes, no, you're right.
Okay. Sorry. Yes, I see. I'm too screen. Yeah.
It happens very frequently.
Sorry.
Okay.
Lo siento.
No te preocupes.
Troppo tecnologico. Antonello, the last one.
In English or in Italian? In English. I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you,
Thank you.
Tommaso, and thank you to Elizabeth and to Luis Miguel for their presentations. And we would close this session of contributions to the workshop, talking about a project that Rete Appia, the Italian network on pastoralism, together with other two Italian partners, like the National Research Council and the University of Politecnico delle Marche, are attending inside in the framework of the Prima program. The Prima program is a program that the European Union has founded regarding the agriculture in the Mediterranean areas. And this project is called Pastinnova, and it's a project that will be described by Giovanni Altana in a few minutes, very schematically, very briefly. What is important to just 2 words about me. I am a researcher at the National Research Council, and I'm also a founder of the Italian Network on Pastoralism. We are talking about networking, and many European projects at global level used to talk about networking. It seems to be that in the last decades, many people in Europe have not the chance to discuss it, to compare, to share their opinion and comments into the European research and innovation projects. So that's why in the last call that at all European level, I mean, LIFE project or Horizon project, the word networking has become one of the most important keywords, together with participatory approach. And it seems to be that European founders are trying to develop in some way a method of communication between stakeholders, between actors at global level, and specifically in the pastoralism framework. Many European projects at state are related with pastoralism. Horizon, LIFE, a COST project, ERC project. And it seems that pastoralism now is very, very important for the European programs of rural development, for instance. And this is a paradox for me, just for introducing Pastinnova. The paradox is that there is a dramatic decrease of pastoral farming systems in our marginal areas. And so what we are expecting from this project of research and innovation is that in some way, something will occur in the future for the safeguard, for the saving of this very important activity that we are trying to defend in some way. So this is the topic in which Pastinnova is moving. And so I ask to Giovanni, please, to introduce himself before, and then the project Pastinnova. And at the end, we will discuss about the relevance, the importance of pastoral schools in this framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonello. Briefly, I'm Giovanni Altana. I'm a PhD student, and I'm doing my PhD at the University of Sassari and CNR. And since 2022, I work for Rete Appia, in which basically I am occupied in the Pastinnova project. So let me share the screen. Let me see which one is the right one. Okay. Just a sec. I have two screens too, so it's the same problem. Okay. Well, basically, as Antonello was saying, Pastinova, it's a project that is funded by Prima Call. The Prima project, Prima program is a partnership for research and innovation at the Mediterranean area. It involves 20 partners from 12 Mediterranean countries and 43 supporting organizations. We can see here in the chart. Do you see the presentation? Or
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So in the framework of the project, we've firstly divided in regional areas: Western EU regional living labs, Southern Mediterranean, Middle East of the Mediterranean, and East Mediterranean area. So we can see here different partners that we have. As Antonello was saying, for Italy, we have CNR, we have Rete Appia, and we have University of Politecnico delle Marche. And you can see a lot of partners from Spain, North Africa, Lebanon, Turkey. We have even Croatia, and so on. Basically, what is the main? Sorry, we have prepared the presentation, a brief presentation in Italian, but we can obviously go in English. The main objective is to deliver innovations and sustainable business and organizational models for a more profitable and resilient pastoral farms. Also developing value chains with basically view to increase what we call in the project smallholders. So little, not intensive, real pastoral environment. In which way we decided to do so? We have some sub-objectives, like to co-create and test and implement these innovative models, promoting efficient use of local resources. Many of the partners have the aim to valorize the economies and social aspect through local breeds. Sorry, I'm trying to translate on the fly. Local breeds and with an eye to the climate change. So during Pastinova is divided in 6 working packages. During the first year of activity, we are going rapidly to the to halfway of the project. In the first year of the activity, it's been produced a selection of innovations that started as a aim of the project in a bottom-up kind of view. So every partner has to a group of stakeholders. Many of these are pastoral, especially for partners like Rete Appia, that has one of the most numerous group of shepherds in it, which are the existing innovation in the market. We are talking about already existing innovation in the market, and we have shared these innovations with all the partners. This led to over 100 innovations that were pointed out in the spotlight by this partnership. After this work, we have to do a on-desk analysis, always with our stakeholders, to make a ranking of these innovations, to follow just the ones that were indicated as more useful for the stakeholders. And then we put group all these innovation in thematic clusters. Every clusters will be implemented with a living lab, with a living laboratory that we will use to validate the innovations. As you can see, the second answer that could come after what is Pastinova is what has to do Pastinova with the pastoral schools or shepherd schools. That one of the IBMs that was selected and was ranked as a very important IBM were shepherd school or school of pastoralism. You can see here a mirror that we put together just to show you briefly how clusters were divided. We have the cluster 1, in which we will debate marketing, innovation, and value change based on the product. Cluster 2 is about technological and managerial innovations. Cluster 3 is organizational and innovations. And finally, we have the fourth cluster. I'll go briefly with these ones, where schools of pastoralism proposed by, of course, Italy, and mainly from Rete Appia, CNR, and all the other partners, and the Shepherd School of Spain. Well, they found a whole cluster to develop this thematic. This meant to us that it's a challenge for us, the creation of networks and the implementation of Shepherd School. We come from a different environment here in Italy, because we all know that we have a lot of shepherd schools in France, in Spain, and they have like a sort of tradition. They come from a long story of shepherd school. Here in Italy, as we said in the previous presentations, we are growing. So we have lots of purposes, lots of propositions from different regions of Italy. We started with north of Italy in the Alps. Then we have I used to call it like a experimentation, a beta test of a pastoral school in Sardinia. And now, of course, in the framework of Shep for Bio, we have another school of pastoralism, but there are so many requests. We are in the position of like we are students, we have to learn, we have to develop what will be our kind of school. And of course, the Pastinova project, with the help of the experience of Spain, it could be obviously a great way to improve what we are thinking to do with an Italian school of shepherds. I just thank you for your attention and for this brief presentation. I give back the word to Antonello. I interrupt I think he wanted to share its latest experience in Barcelona, France, with Rete Appia. So Antonello, if
Yes,
you want,
Giovanni, thank you.
the floor
Yes,
is yours.
yeah, just a few words about some update that we had 1 month ago in France. We have participated to a meeting of CERAM. Originally, this is a meeting that every 2 years is organized in the different pastoral locations of France, and it is related with the development of local breed of pastoral, we can say, livestock. But in this occasion in Barcelonette, a discussion was made about the role and importance of networking pastoral schools at the European level. So I think that this is a sort of progression with regard to Florac on May, for the meeting that was organized in Florac in May. And so this is a sign of how important seems to be the development of pastoral schools as a tool, not only for a teaching and learning process between a teacher and a group of, we can say, participants or attendants, but it is considered like an environment in which people exchange experiences in some way, and this is what was originally in the design of the SNAP, the SNAP, the National School of Pastoralism, that was developed in Italy 3 years ago from a group of persons, of experts, and many people coming from the field, from the university, from the research centers, and so on. I can see in the list of people that are attending now this meeting that are persons that were involved very strictly in this process 3 years ago. And from this experience of SNAP, more or less in a more direct or indirect way, there are 3 schools in Italy now that are active. And so, as Giovanni was saying before, so it means probably that the road is right, and it's really appreciated the objective of Shep4Bio in trying to connect this different experience, not only at Italian level, but also at European level, for trying to understand which is the main road to be followed in the future. Because it's true that pastoral systems are so different in Europe, and we can see also in Northern Africa, for instance. But as Pastinova is indicating, it seems that many people, many stakeholders, many pastoral actors are confident with the idea of something like a pastoral school or a shepherd school that can give the opportunity to actors to exchange experiences, exchange ideas, exchange something that is linked with the future of pastoral systems in our territories. And this is linked with what some organizations like Via Campesina are doing now. So trying to connect people, but not only to talk and blah, 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 but to find solutions. This is very important because pastoral actors are waiting for some solutions from us. And so connecting the governance institutions, for instance, in the different territories. And so this is the role of the school, in my opinion. And this is what, for instance, the SNAP has developed in this original work. So the discussion is this: what are stakeholders waiting from us as organizers of pastoral schools? And the answer is that it's very, very important to pragmatically answer to these questions, to this demand of solutions, because this situation is very, very bad. Even in France, where we were 3 weeks ago, even if in France, you know, there is a very well developed structure of supporting the different pastoral area of the country, even in this case, the situation is not so good for many, many reasons. Market, climate change, wolves, predators, there are several and many different topics to be discussed. And shepherds are waiting for exchanging their idea with us, for trying to make pressure on the governments, on the governance institutions, on the policymakers, because the paradox I was talking before is actually this: how to translate the general idea of rural development that Bruxelles are more or less given to us in something really, really practical, really, really political, to change this this way that seems to be unchangeable regarding pastoralism. This is the very, very important challenge that Pastinova and other European projects are trying to answer to.
Okay, thank you very much, Antonello and Giovanni. Very interesting this project. And now we have more or less half an hour, or maybe more, if you want, to discuss any questions. Okay, Elizabeth?
Yes, I wanted to thank Antonello Franca very much for this. He was really, I shared definitely the same opinion on the situation at the moment in Europe with the with all the difficulties, like of practical difficulties that farmers and shepherds face, and this very ambiguous situation of want of support on the European level. And sorry, I have my dog here, I can't get him away, so the noise is and on one hand there's a lot of support and financial and research going on, but on the other level we have a very aged population of shepherds, and we have paramount, we have a lot of administration, bureaucracy, and difficulties on local levels with the local authorities. And I think this is the thing that Via Campesina at the moment is working on, particularly also with the organization for Veterinarian Without Borders, Veterinaris Senza Frontiere, and with Slow Food, that sorry, Anna, no, and that the that we can actually have an easier everyday life approach to in the production that is less burdened. And I think this is going for small scale farmers, this is going for shepherds, access to slaughterhouses, for example, access to mobile slaughter if possible, transformation and processing facilities which are have less burdens, and a better information for the shepherds of their rights, for example, when controls are coming, and a bit more of collaboration with the veterinarian services. And so we would like, if for example, also for hygiene standards and so on, we would like really much, if there is possible, there's definitely space in collaboration with you, if it's possible, to collaborate in the future with also the young farmers and shepherds of our network. That would be of great importance for us, and so that we actually can get ahead of this big wave of people leaving this job and production type because of too many walls they're daily encountering, which in our region we actually see it's quite dramatic. Okay, thank you.
Elizabeth? Anyone else? Okay.
Sorry.
Luis.
Yes. Antonello. Maybe, but to be faster, I'm speaking in Spanish. Antonello, en ese proceso de análisis que había hecho, que vais a hacer con el clúster 4, exactamente el objetivo final que habéis marcado en el proyecto, ¿cuál es?
When a project is based on living labs, it means that when you, in the case of Pastinova, when the partnership, when the group of stakeholders involved decide to deepen knowledge and regarding one innovation or another, it means that a process of co-creation is going on. So it means that at the end of the project, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we don't know how many at the moment, but a list of innovation and business models will be co-created together with the farmers and the shepherds that are directly involved in the project. And this is the difference between living labs and other forms of participatory approach. The intervention, the presence of economic stakeholders is fundamental for arriving at the end to develop an innovative model of something. Pastoral schools, for instance, we can take the example of pastoral schools. Now, pastoral schools in the framework of this partnership are already active only in 3 countries: France, Spain, and Italy. But the other 9 countries participating to the project have shown a really, really great interest on the possibility of co-creating School of Pastoralism in their countries. So this is the meaning of Pastinova and of Living Lab approach. So the innovation that is already experienced and available in some advanced, we can say, sorry for this very, very bad word, countries, could be used as an example for developing pastoral schools in the countries where this idea is not already present. And so, for instance, an outcome of the project, so the objective, could be the overture, the openings of pastoral schools in countries in which these pastoral schools at the moment are not considered. So this is could be an outcome, a result, a final remark of a project like this. Just this is only an example, but we can talk about other of the innovation that have been indicated in the scheme that Giovanni has already shown to us. Like, for instance, some technological innovation. I can make the example of the virtual fences in using extensive livestock in very large territories in the mountain areas, for instance. And we have here attended this meeting colleagues and friends that are strictly involved in this kind of technology very, very recently. So this is another example, but we don't know now at the moment which are the good dogs, as the English said, about the good challenge to be deepening in the future in the 2 years remaining of Pastinova. But we know for sure the School of Pastoralism is one of the innovation that has really been appreciated by the Pastinova partnership, mainly for this country, like Northern African countries or Middle East countries that has not experienced already a school of pastoralism, for instance.
Okay, thank you.
Just to add a few things to answer Luis Miguel. Basically, for being rapid and for being quick, I didn't mention haven't been so precise in describing living labs. The base for us are the stakeholders, the pastoral stakeholders, but has the aim is to co-create and implement the innovations, the IBMs, the innovations and business models from different points of view. So we have the shepherd, we have the policymaker, we have maybe the cooperatives, like I can say universities, we have dairy cooperatives, and every one of these people gives different points of view and different hints to implement these innovations. And just to complete what was saying Antonello, in the second National Assembly of the Pastinova project, we've been in Morocco, we've been in the nearby Tangier, and there we visited a shepherd school. You can imagine like a whole building built up from scratch in the middle of the desert by this association that it's like the only association in Morocco. And we saw the kids. We saw kids from 10 to 18 years old, and they in this shepherd school just learned math, learn to write, to read, because they level of knowledge is that one. So just being able to implement this kind of knowledge of schools in this country could be a winning point for the project. For developing a shepherd school. So we have all around Europe, we have many differences, but always some topics that layer and get together in all the partners and the countries.
And what's important to understand is that at the end, the living labs will be the environment in which these innovations and business models will be co-created, co-validated, and shared between the more advanced partners and the other partners that are going to develop something new and innovative in their pastoral territories. Is a classical example of exchanging something that is already available and experienced in some way, but not in all the Mediterranean territories.
Anyone? Daniela? Prego.
Hi. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for these interesting presentations. And I would, if it was possible to share also the slides you presented, it would be nice. I saw that Sanabria, Luis Miguel already did it. And just a few considerations. So there was a big value added, in listening to you and to different experiences and to what you learned in your research project in different contexts. And made me think about this, that there is a lot of work to do, not just about, implementing the training part of the school. The most difficult, that is something, that can be done more easily than all the other part. The most difficult thing is the part was talking about Antonello, that is working with stakeholders to create opportunities for people. From my point of view, people are young people interested in this sector and in living in inner areas, because I have a particular view on this experience, because the experience I come from about pastoral school is the school for young shepherd that comes from a research path that is more territorial oriented, is not only sectoral, is more territorial, is linked to the inner areas. So we did the research on young people living in inner areas, and then the ideas about we developed. I mean, the thing we discussed with Antonello and other people in Rete Appia were just one part of the story. So there is not only a sector, there is also, a problem of places that are that are depopulating, that have a problem of being not seen. No, they have problem of they need to become more central again. And one of the, pastoralism is just one of the activities relevant to these places, and we need to look at things from a different perspective that is not only sectoral but also territorial. So I'm just putting everything together. The point is that it's very important to work more on the creation of opportunities, not just the school and the training, but to work more with stakeholders at local level, building solutions that are place-based, but with the support of a wider network, can be developed and can be successful. So the value added of the network here, I think, is that we can join forces and we can be together more able to create solutions that can function in real life, concrete, that can become real. And putting together different institutions and associations to do this work and work together with local actors, that's important. So we cannot develop solutions that are, just designed at central level or at regional level or within a university or a research center. We need to develop solutions together according to what is needed at local level, and this is the most difficult things, the most difficult part to develop, I think. Also because we need more resources that we don't have. For instance, it's easier to find a donor to implement, an edition of the school, but it's more difficult to find people willing to work with us to develop solutions. This is the most difficult part. And also, what does to think about solution means? Okay, during the implementation of the school in Piemonte, some of the students were interested in working with the wool, lana, to valorization of, wool, that is a sub-product. At the moment in Italy, there are not many experiences developed already about valorization of wool from sheep. But the problem is that we need, we don't have a network capable to support people that want to invest in this. So we need to work more on that. the first thing to do is understand better the problem at hand, and the second thing is to create network to willing to work together to find solution specific to the problem and to this sector. I don't know if I've been too confused.
No,
La verità è che non ero pronta a parlare in inglese. Quindi cioè, a volte le cose che pensi in italiano, tradurle in inglese è difficile. Però queste sono cose a cui già stavo pensando, no? Cioè, prima di questo incontro pensavo che la cosa più complicata su cui lavorare insieme è proprio questa, è che ci sono esperienze che si sono sviluppate, quella la scuola del Casentino, la scuola di Giovanni Pastori, che nascono da percorsi di ricerca autonomi, che in qualche modo per portare valore aggiunto va bene che siano così, no? Che conservino la loro indipendenza, però poi queste esperienze, diciamo, da sole non possono costruire le soluzioni, e quindi forse a questo punto costruire le soluzioni dobbiamo pensare, diciamo, a come si può lavorare insieme con, diciamo, altri, diciamo, confrontarsi con altre realtà, è quello che volevate fare oggi voi, ma anche come si può lavorare insieme da punti di vista diversi, cioè il centro di ricerca, l'associazione, la rete Appia, come tutti questi mondi si mettono insieme al servizio di soluzioni che poi devono essere applicate localmente e condivise con gli attori locali.
Grazie Daniela, molto chiara e molto puntuale. Ok, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you for giving me the floor. I've been struggling to find this way to raise a hand, which I don't know how to okay, that's it. And so I think that many of the issues that have been touched were somehow touched also by the exploration I have had the chance to make about the experiences of pastoral schools across Spain, France, Austria, Europe. I'm very curious about this experience in Morocco Giovanni was mentioning earlier, so I'll get back to him, especially about this topic. What Danielle has just been saying, I think, is very much key to understand what kind of solution can be developed to give an option to the pastoral systems across our region, which is, I mean, the Mediterranean at large. Of course, we have to first of all define a strategy and then defend it or bring it to Brussels. And the schools can be a very important actor in the definition of this kind of strategy and priorities to be brought in lobby spaces. But then on the territories and on the need to find local solutions that work there, also the schools could at least help bringing those innovations that have been working in some territories to other territories. And for instance, I refer to the Catalan ones that pick up every year different eminent stakeholders, can be trainers, can be business makers, can be economic operators from many different fields that have a say or that can work in cooperation with the pastoral schools or with the wannabe shepherds. And I think that there's a lot of such topics that have to enter, let's say, the space in which the school operate, because if we limit the schools to a training space, then there will be probably a very little minority of very good shepherds, I mean, pastoralists in capacity to manage very effectively their flock, but in a desert, without other opportunities, with a very poor quality of life around, with no chance and options for their children should they make family or decide to make family in these rural and neglected areas. So the topics are very much diverse. There's a lot of things to be seen together. And there's many research projects that have been, or even practitioners projects and activities that have been involving the shepherds, not necessarily projects, that's what I mean, or research projects, that lack space in which they can sit and find the best practices and develop them, adapting them to specific territories, and the schools could offer us a proper space for that. That's my opinion, and that's what I've been sort of observing by talking to different experiences of the schools. Hope we can enter much into detail, or a bit more into detail, of these kind of differences and potentials of the schools in the next meeting. For now, I want to join my thank you to all those who have brought their experience here, and hope we're ready to keep in touch and to keep talking about this. I want just to recall here one experience that might be interesting to talk to, which is another life project which was there in the first meeting, in the kickoff that Tommaso hosted last year, which is this Life Grace project, which is basically on the very same page, with 3 spots in Lazio region, Italy, and in where the economic value chain is being explored, and trying to create a direct connection in the market in short value chains to have a recognition of the economic and quality of course of the quality of the products, and then of the market potential of the products of remote area pastoralism, mountain pastoralism, which I think is something very important to keep in mind and to try and push, even when we teach the pastoralists or they want to be pastoralists in the schools. That's it on my side. Thank you very much, really.
Alessandro, and we have 5 minutes left. If no one wants to ask something or to contribute to the discussion, I'd like to try to summarize the take-home messages of this first workshop. For me, there are 3 main topics that arise from the different interventions, and one that what Elizabeth speak about in her intervention presentation is that especially small pastoral farms have a problem of representation. We have a problem of representation, and this is a very big problem because it linked with a lot of different other problems, for example, related with PAC measures and other kinds of intervention for which shepherds and pastoralism is not the target. And I think the School of Shepherds, with this innovation role that they should have, could have a role in enhance this representation. If we think, for example, of the very big interest that was generated around the Shepherd School for Life Shep for Bio. A lot of TV, newspaper, magazine that speak about pastoralism. also. An argument that probably they never have been speak about in the past. So shepherd school could be a tool to spread a message. The second, and Antonello, Giovanni, Luis, also Daniela mentioned this topic, is how to translate in practice innovative systems and solutions. Luis said before that probably in the past 25, 30 years, we have a lot of projects that have been done, be carried out on pastoralism. So we don't lack innovative solution. Probably what we lack is a way, a good way, a practical way to put it in practices. And I think the School of Shepherds, again, could be a part of the solution of this problem. Because you train the shepherds of the future. And then the third one is the last one we discussed, is create opportunities. And also in this case, I think that the School of Shepherds could have a role to facilitate the creation of these opportunities. Speaking with public institutions, for example, of the territories where they operate, but also collaborating with the pastoral farms that already exist. Just to make an example, in Shepherd School in Casentino, we have a theoretical part, the first one, and then we have a practice experience, a stage of about 30 days, when students go to work in a pastoral farm. And now 3 of our students are employed in these farms. So we can create opportunities also collaborating with the farms that already exist, but it's just an example. As I said before, I speak about public institutions, that it's everything, national parks, obviously region, provinces, municipalities, and so on. I think maybe there are other topics. This is my personal thoughts, and it could be also interesting to have from you, maybe also by email in the following days, if there are other take-home messages from this first workshop. And so I invite you to send an email with your considerations. And I think these also just 3 topics could be a very useful basis for discussion for the final workshop. We have a lot of material and a lot of work to do. I think it's very interesting. And thank you very much to everyone. And I remember you the next workshop on the 6th of November, but we'll send you an email with a link and everything. And for me, that's it.
Okay, can I just 1 second, Tommaso, because Giovanni
Sure.
gifted me with the task to take notes during this meeting, which I've been trying to do over the discussion. So I would like to share a few lines of what you have said, on top of which the remarks of everyone could be added. So we try and summarize things a bit more in a bit more of a structured way, if you agree. Otherwise, I just take my notes for myself, no problem, of course. I don't have to clean them and make them in a single language and so on and so forth, as you prefer.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We agree.
Okay.
Okay.
I shared the presentation, the chat, my presentation in the chat. Giovanni did the same. Yes, Luis did the same. And if no one wants to add something, have a good evening and see you soon.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao a tutti.
Thank you. Ciao.